Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. I want to share something with you. You know, when we look at how different our society really is in comparison to what we have dreamed it to be, right now we have a society where Republicans think everything the Democrats say is a lie, fake, where the Democrats think that everything that the Republicans say is a lie, fake, neither caring about one another. And the reason they really don't care about one another is because they don't know what caring about is. They've never had anyone to share with them, to teach them what love is. And that isn't to say that no one has, it's just that it's been so limited over such a great period of time. So people act as if they don't understand what it really means. You see, what we have going on in the world today is what I would call all of the reason and motivation you need to trust God, to trust God's way, to trust love, to trust compassion for one another. All of the reasons for that to exist right before our face today. You see, they have a fake president named Donald Trump. Trump knows that every American, every, as far as he's concerned, every human being is afraid to die. Nobody wants to die. Men go into battle because they are forced to. They are forced to because they've been programmed to understand when you've been given an order that you obey it. And if you don't, they got something for it. So most men will put their lives on the line, go and kill and be killed because they were given an order. Now, when you are talking about politics, say for instance, in the United States, no one in the United States just want to die. Sometimes you're on the street, you get caught out there and get angry and pull out a gun and start shooting. People get killed. That stuff happens. But nobody really wants to die. And Trump knows that. He doesn't want to die. But what he does know is that there are some people who will kill. There are people who will kill. And if you're in government, Trump calls that strong men, powerful men. So he's telling everybody that he believes in that as a way, as an order, as a condition for humanity to exist. He believes it. Killing. Now, what does that say to America? Based upon what Trump is doing now. What Trump is doing now tells every American that he will kill them. He doesn't have that kind of power right now, but he's working on it. And he will kill every last one of you just to be a strong man. See, to him, Hitler was a loser. But Trump says he himself is a genius and he knows how to overcome. He knows how to turn America and the whole world into hell. If Jesus is trying to talk things about God and heaven and all that kind of stuff, then Trump is the mouthpiece for hell. The mouthpiece for hell. Isn't that something? The mouthpiece for hell. But what I really want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is as I watch the television and I still see positive things going on. I mean, I really see positive things going on within the nation. And these positive things are happening because of the fact that it's constantly being talked about. It is talked about over and over and over and over again. And there are those who perhaps are doing some of the talking, others aren't doing the talking, but they're doing the planning and they're putting things into action. It seems to be taking some time. It's a wake up call to realize and recognize just how inefficient democracy is and was in this country to defend itself against a crook, against a little thief, came in and just walked all over this country and is doing everything he wants. But the people are organized. But I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Most people are afraid to die. And the reason that you are afraid to die is because you don't know the truth about life. You do not know the truth about life. You are as confused as you can possibly be. And when you start talking about what you believe, that's exactly it. You believe. You don't know. In order for you to do certain things, you got to know. I tell you, some people put their lives on the line just to find out. And sometimes they find out in a wonderful way, and they have to come back and tell you that there is a way. All of your desires be met. And it's just by you knowing the secret of life. The secret of life is that the power is invisible. All you can see is the evidence of it. And the evidence of it is that it works for everybody. It doesn't cause any pain and suffering for anyone except those who are going off on a different track. And that stuff that's on a different track, it says America and the people of the world. What Donald Trump is doing represents what it says. And that is this, that none of you know God. Now you think you do. You know God as to what you've been taught. You remember when those preachers of these big churches were laying hands on Donald Trump, the one that we call evil, the one that we call the voice of the devil. They were laying hands on him. Those people were teaching thousands of mega churches of people, teaching them all over the country that this is the God, that this evil monster that does all these things to cause all this pain and suffering to you was God. And they were, now you got a world full of that. So what does that do? Does that require that you find you some pit to hide in so you can try to maneuver and you can get around this hurdle and get around that hurdle and not be made ashamed, and you don't really have to defy God because really you don't know what God is all about? You see, and I'm going to get out of here. I want you to remember this. God's world is about the beauty of life. And everybody else's is not. It's about the beauty of life for some at the expense of others. Everybody. If there's 15 billion people on earth, there would be 15 billion different ways to cause and deny God's way. So there must be something to God's way. All I'm saying is this. When you know God, when you know the truth, you will not be afraid to die. And when you're not afraid to die, you are the captain of your ship. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, when you're not afraid to die, no man, no government, no nothing puts fear in you. Nah, you can't. Oh, and then you walking righteous too. You walking, all you doing is trying to protect everybody to make sure that they have peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, and happiness and live their dreams fulfilled and satisfied. Needs, wants, and desires met, never suffering for anything, not even food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, or anything that's made by the hands of man. And they are guaranteed this because the resources are free, and they engage themselves in the process of making sure that all of the things that we've just mentioned here are created and made manifest by their own hands, that the heaven that they experience